Welcome to our series on the pan and its development. This time around, we look at the pan pioneers who helped with its development. We start with Winston Spree Simon, 1930 to 18 April 1976. And yes, Hitch did sing in 1975 that Spree invented the steel pan. But you knew that pan started in the early 30s when Spree was just a toddler. However, after World War II in 1936, Spree serenaded on his pan in public songs like Ave Maria, God Save the King, Lai Fung Lee, the Tai Tong Mopsy, and a couple of hymns. We therefore recognize that he was one of the first to play a variety of melodies with the pan at a public forum. Victor Toti Wilson. Though we do not have a picture of him, we recall the chimes of the Kiwasi clock that Victor Toti Wilson played on the 4-note ping pong that he created. In a tape-recorded interview, he stated quite clearly that a Juve morning he saw a pan, but it was in a gateway. He burnt it, threw water in it, dented it, and got the 4 notes, ting, tong, tong, tong. He also said this was around 1930 or maybe 1931. So he would have been born in 1915. That is why we recognize Victor Toti Wilson as the person responsible for the birth of pan. Carlton Ziggily Constantine. Many of the early pan players were classified as bargeons because of the clashes between rival bands. Ziggily was a name that brought fear into many, as he was termed the ultimate bargeon. However, he was very much involved in the development of pan as an inventor and player. During World War II, several pioneers were experimenting with the pan's development. Ziggily claimed to have developed on his own a 6-note instrument, only to discover it was obsolete by the next day. Kendolph Corky Mason. Corky was originally a mask maker, as evidenced by the King Lucifer headpiece that he fashioned from mud, starch, and paper, an early mask making process. But he was also a tambu bamboo player. He was part of a band that practiced under his mother's house in Gonzales. When that transitioned into the steel band, he became one of the founding members of the oldest steel bands, Casablanca. Oscar Bogart Pyle, 17th of January 1922 to February 26, 2008. A talented pan man from the fiery, creative, and often bloody period of the early development of the steel band. Oscar Bogart Pyle was renowned for being a walking encyclopedia on the steel band. In his early days, he founded and captained the legendary Belmont-based Casablanca Steel Band. Pyle also was one of the founders and a vice president of the Steel Band Association in 1950, which later morphed into Pan Trinbago as we know it today. He worked with the organization until his passing in 2008. Next, we looked at Prince Batson. In 1935, Prince Batson was the first captain of Heliard Boys, later called Trinidad All-Stars. He and Neville Jones introduced the playing of classical music on pan during Juve, known as the bomb. He and Jones developed the cuarto, or alto pan, now called the double second, the bass pans, and the use of 2 sticks to play the pan. Prince Batson passed on in 2004. Next, we look at Neville Jones, May 21, 1927 to 19th of February 2020. It is fitting that we follow with Neville Jones. He was the founder, leader, tuner, and an arranger in Trinidad All-Stars. Neville has been the inventor of several of the instruments in a modern steel orchestra. Pan Trinbago has honored his unique achievement by naming its annual Juve Morning Steel Pan competition the Neville Jules Bomb Contest. Jules was awarded the Chaconia Medal Silver in 2018. He passed away February this year, 2020, mere days before the annual Carnival celebrations, along with his fellow pan pioneer, Hugh Laborde. Well, Hugh Laborde, his birth range up to 2020 as well. He took leadership of the Tripoli Steel Band in 1951. He was best known for his 35 years of adjudicating steel band competitions at Carnival time. He was also recognized for his interaction with world-acclaimed Liberace, who introduced his band Tripoli on the Ed Sullivan television show. His awards, including the Hummingbird Medal Bronze for Steel Band, developed in 1971. Orman Patsy Haynes. He was considered one of the finest double tenors with the gift of creating innovative solos. He loved the pan, and it is said that he once sneaked out of his hospital bed to perform in a Christmas concert with Casablanca at the Brooklyn Academy in New York. He's best known as one of the select members of TASPO, the Trinidad All-Stars Philharmonic Orchestra that toured England in 1951. Vernon Birdie Mannett. Birdie was the brother of Ellie Mannett. The name Vernon Birdie Mannett conjures up the sound of sweet shallows of the Invaders Steel Band of Woodbrook. He was part of the original group that formed the band that was called Oval Boys at first and later titled Invaders. He was a strong and serious leader who was considered one of the best band tuners of his time. Anthony Williams, Tony, as he was fondly called, was part of the Trinidad All-Steel Percussion Orchestra TASPO, which visited England in 1951. He was initiated as a player of the steel pan in the band Five Graves to Cairo at Carlton Street, St. James. He is the recipient of the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the country's highest honor. In 1953, he presented the spiderweb pan designed along the Circle of Fifths, his crowning achievement. He also had the distinction of arranging the winning performance at the inaugural Panorama competition by his band North Stars in 1963. Bertie Marshall. Bertie Marshall revolutionized the method of tuning by introducing complex tuning techniques and established the harmonic tuning method. He's responsible for the sound of today's many frontline steel band instruments, brightening the overall sound in the process. He's also credited with inventing the double tenor instrument and for being the first person to amplify the steel band. He developed the quadraphonics, 6-pan and 12 bass together with Rudolph Charles of Desperados Steel Orchestra from Laventille. Rudolph Charles was a musician and instrument maker of the steel band, but most notably, he was a pioneer and leader of the Desperados. He was their band leader and tuner from 1961 till his passing at the age of 46 in 1985. He invented several instruments for the steel band, including the triple second, 9 bass, rocket bands, and 12 bass. It was immortalized in song by David Waters, The Hammer. Ellie Mannett. He was a member of Alexander's ragtime band, created by Alexander Ford. Legend says that Mannett was the first person to use a discarded oil drum to build a concave steel band. He co-founded the band Oval Boys and was also part of TASPO. His work with universities in the US has led him to be recognized worldwide as one of the most knowledgeable inventors and tuners of the steel band. In November 2000, he was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. He also received the Shaponia Medal Silver for outstanding cultural achievement. This has been our presentation on the Pan Pioneers. Keep viewing, as next in line we'll be talking about the development